Hello, everyone. This is Mr. C of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. It's time for the middle and high school music class. Your music lesson is today. And let's start off with the Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy jingle. If you know it, sing along. Here we go. Time for school, time for music, time to learn together. We can do it. Learning is fun, Mr. C. And learning is fun, everybody. Once again, welcome. It is time for your music class for middle school and high school, 6th grade all the way through 12th grade. Okay, so today we're going to learn the right-hand part. I put this on last week. Okay, last time we went over the left-hand part mainly. Now today we're going to go over the right-hand part. So if you happen to have your piano, make sure you're at your piano. Okay, your piano keyboard. Okay, what have you? Make sure you're there. And make sure you're exhibiting good posture with your shoulders relaxed and your back straight, okay? We're going to be going to the piano in a little bit, but first I want to explain exactly what we're going to be playing in the right-hand part, okay? If copying this would be helpful to you, that would be also a very good thing. So it's going to be up. It's going to be on. The video is going to be up for forever. Okay, so all you have to do is always go back to the video just to make sure you can copy all those notes down on your manuscript paper or what have you. If you need manuscript paper, especially for our Academy members, then there is a way to actually find a PDF on our dashboard and be able to download and print. Okay, but for those who are not Academy members as of yet, okay, you can always go to either online or your local music store and purchase a manuscript notebook. Okay, manuscript notebooks. They don't all look like this. This happens to be mine, but they will have blank pages of manuscript paper in which you can write this. Okay, but also for our Academy members, the worksheet will be available at some point. Make sure you find that on our dashboard as well, where I'll have the worksheet with all this music on there. Okay, but in any event, let's get right to it. Our hymnal for today is "Taste and See the Goodness of the Lord," which was written by James E. Moore. Now, this particular hymnal is actually derived from Psalms number 34 in the book of the Old Testament of the Bible. Okay, Psalms number 34. Okay, it's from there. And this song, "Taste and See the Goodness of the Lord," is by James E. Moore. Happens to be by James E. Moore. This is just one version out of many other versions of this song, and they're all titled the same thing: "Taste and See the Goodness of the Lord." But there are many versions of this. This is just one version that I was fortunate enough to listen to, blessed enough to listen to, and I really liked it from off the bat. So we are going to sing together, okay? With this song. Make sure you go onto your Google search engine, and all you have to do is type again the title, "Taste and See the Goodness of the Lord." Make sure you have the composer on there, James E. Moore, okay? Moore, James E. Moore, okay? Make sure you type that in along with the word lyrics, and those lyrics should pop up right away, okay? And you definitely want that version because the lyrics, the melody and everything, but mostly the lyrics are done for this particular one that we're going to sing. As I said before, there are other versions of this particular hymnal that are done a little bit differently, and the words are organized a bit differently. So just make sure you have the James E. Moore version, okay? Everybody, before we begin our hymnals, singing our hymnal and singing to God and thanking Him for everything He's done for us, let's make sure that we are sitting up nice and straight with our posture, back straight, shoulders relaxed, and let's do some stretches before we sing. Here we go, ready, and up into the sky as high as you can. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Feel that nice stretch in the lower back, and breathe while you do this. Okay, keep stretching. Sorry, it's my phone ringing, so sorry about that. Ringing at the wrong time. Okay, so in any event, let's put our arms down and start rolling the shoulders. Start rolling the shoulders back. Okay, great. And now everybody roll them forward. All right, wonderful. Everybody, let's rotate our necks very slowly all the way around in this particular direction. Nice and easy. And everybody rotate in the other direction. Okay, great. Now everybody look all the way up and look all the way down and look all the way to your right and all the way to your left. And everybody shrug and hold those shoulders and drop them down. Once again, shrug and hold and drop. And now everybody put your hands in front of you like this and start opening and closing those hands. Great, nice and easy. You don't have to go fast. That would only tense up the muscles in the forearms. You don't want to really do that. It's not the purpose. You can, but it's really not the purpose of this. It's just mobility in our fingers as we're going to play piano, right? Now everybody squeeze and hold, squeeze and hold, squeeze and hold. And great, shake it out, release, and start rotating the wrists inward. And now everybody rotate in the other direction. Great. Shake it out once again. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out. Once again, deep breath in. And deep breath out. All right. Here we go, guys. It is time to sing our song, Taste and See the Goodness of the Lord. Taste and see. God is saying in this way. Remember, this is derived and inspired by his word in Psalms, in the book of Psalms, number 34. And there he talks about tasting and seeing, not in the literal sense, but definitely in the spiritual sense, where we are to try him, ask him, which he says in other scriptures as well. You know, all the scriptures in the Bible, they coincide with each other. So and so where he's saying, try him, see if I won't bless you 7 times more, but try him, ask and you shall receive, many scriptures like that. And so this is a great reminder of how good God is to his people and how he will bless them. And I just definitely pray for that all the time. So while we have the lyrics in front of us, let's make sure we are thinking on God and knowing that he's given us so much already, just being able to gather like this and be able to learn music and learn of him. Okay, so right there, have those lyrics handy, and let's sing along together. Okay, here we go. This is Taste and See the Goodness of the Lord by James E. Moore, this version. Okay, go. Probably a good idea to turn on my piano, right? Taste and see the goodness of the Lord. Oh, taste and see the goodness of the Lord, I will bless the Lord at all times. God's praise shall always be on my lips. My soul shall glory in the Lord, for God has been so good to me. Taste and see the goodness of the Lord. Oh, taste and see the goodness of the Lord. Glorify the Lord with me. Together the Lord who answered me. From all my troubles I was set free. Taste and see, taste and see the goodness of the Lord. Oh, taste and see, taste and see the goodness of the Lord, of the Lord. Worship the Lord, all you people. You'll want for nothing if you ask. Taste and see the Lord is good. In God we put all our trust. Taste and see, taste and see the goodness of the Lord. Oh, taste and see, taste and see the goodness of the Lord, of the Lord. And that was Taste and See the Goodness of the Lord. Okay, hopefully give yourselves a round of applause if you were able to follow along with that. Great. Okay, if you had a little bit of trouble, of course, boys and girls, just all you have to do is go right back to the video and press play, have the lyrics handy while you're doing that, and practice and repetition. So now let's get right into our piano lesson, our little mini piano lesson, the part of a song that we're learning over here. So take a good look at the whiteboard. Okay, I'm going to show you what's going on with the right hand, which is our treble clef. Okay, we went over the bass clef, if you recall last week, where we were just using the left hand, of course, bass clef notes, and we had our quarter rest, which I have my note values answer key at the top. Okay, just as a reminder, we have our quarter rest, which is a silent beat. It's one beat of silence. We have and then we have our quarter notes, which is one beat of sound, or any note, really just any note that is sounded, any notes like the half notes that we have here, and of course the eighth notes, anything that is a note, which is note head with stems on it. Okay, however you see stems in a note head, those are sounded beats. Okay, as opposed to the rests, in which the only kind of rest we have here in this little example is our quarter rest. Okay, those are silent beats. Okay, so this is one, in this case, this is one beat of silence. So when we looked at our first measure, in the first beat, make sure, remember, we also have our 3-beat meter, our 3/4 meter, which is 3 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets 1 beat. It's the same at the top, on the top treble clef staff as well. 3 beats per measure, quarter note gets 1 beat. That means every time we see a quarter note, right? Every time we see quarter notes in particular, those are 1 beat of sound. And then all the other note values just kind of go to that, knowing that our quarter note, our 1 beat is in the quarter note, okay? Our quarter rest, they share the same, I should say the same name, quarter, okay? So if this is a quarter note, if these are quarter notes, okay, and they're worth 1 beat, then the quarter rest is going to be worth 1 beat. So we're silent for that first beat, so we rest, and then we have the C in the quarter note of the second beat of the measure, because there's 3 beats in every measure, second beat, and then those 2 quarter notes, E and G, are played at the same time. That is because they're stacked on top of each other. That is our third beat. So it's rest, C, E, G. Okay, if we clap that, okay, we're not going to clap on the rest. We go rest, C, E, G. Okay, and that's how we would feel that rhythm. Everybody do that with me real quick, okay? So on our first measure, rest, silent rest, silent beat, and then second beat clap, third beat clap. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, and go. Shh. Rest and C, E, G. Okay, now I say E, G because again, it's both the notes on E and G, which are both played at the same time in unison. Okay, as opposed to the C, which is played separately first in the second beat, then E and G after that. Okay, but again, we rest in the first beat in the left hand. Same thing in the second measure. Rest and then D, F, G. Notice how with F and G, you have the note head on the F line and the G in the space. They're right next to each other. That's how it's written. Okay, when this is how it's written when they want you to play both F and G. Since they're next to each other, they want you to play it at the same time. However, B is separate because it's on the second beat, and then it coincides with F and G right after. So it's rest, B, F, G. Okay, that's how it should feel as far as the rhythm. Everybody clap that with me. Ready? Rest first and go. Rest, B, F, G. Okay. Then in the last measure, same thing. We have a rest and then C, E, G. Clap that with me. Since we already did it in the first measure, it's going to be in this third measure as well. So here we go. 1, 2, and clap. Rest first. Rest, C, E, G. Okay, and that's what we have. Again, whenever they're stacked on top of each other, that means to play it in unison, to play at the same time. Now, speaking of, we have the treble clef part, the right hand part, which is just above the bass clef part. And there are certain things that are stacked in conjunction with the bass clef. For example, we have the rest in the first beat of the left hand, like we said before. But in the first measure up here, we have G, F, and then we have E as a half note lined up with your C. So in other words, let's put it this way. Remember that the 2 eighth notes in the first beat, in the first beat, they are half a beat each. Half and half make 1, right? So we have 2 halves equaling 1 full beat. When we clap that, if we were to clap those 2 eighth notes, it would be on the first beat, so we clap it as 1 and. Everybody do that. 1 and, okay? So that's that, or I should say G, F. But of course, we're going to play on the piano as G, F. We're going to play it like that in that rhythm. Now look at the E. If you notice the E half note, our half note is 2 beats. 2 beats held. Okay, so you would be clapping that as E hold 2, okay, or hold over 2, 3, I should say. So we have 1 and 2 hold 3. 1 and 2 hold 3. That's what the rhythm feels like if we were clapping it. G, F, E, and hold. Okay, but we're going to play it that way on the piano. Okay, notice how the E is lined up with our low C in the bass clef. It's lined up. Why? Because here's the first beat again, lined up with the rest. We're silent in the first beat in the left hand, but we're playing in the right hand. Okay, those 2 eighth notes, half a beat each, which is the first beat. On the second beat, however, we're going to be playing low C and E above that in the treble clef in the right hand at the same time. While you're holding E for the 2 counts, which it's worth, right? You're also playing C and then in the next beat over E and G at the same time, okay? So you're holding E with your C, but then in the left hand playing E, G right after in the amount of time that it takes to hold E for 2 counts. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, it's definitely going to make sense when we play it. Okay, second measure goes by the same exact format, except we have different notes we're working with over here. So over here we have our F and E in eighth notes. The first beat, it's only 1 beat, and it's the first beat of the measure. So we have F, E, and then our half note D for 2 beats. D hold to over. D and hold, okay? So it's F, E, D, and hold. That's how the rhythm feels. However, that's what we're going to transfer and playing that in the right hand. Look at where it's lined up. F and E, first beat of the measure, lined up with the first beat of the bass clef measure, which is our quarter rest. So we're silent. While we're silent in the left hand, we are playing in the right hand F and E, those 2 eighth notes. Meanwhile, your B, in the left hand is straight up lined up with the D in the right hand. So you're going to play B and D in your B in your left, D in your right at the same time, but you're holding the D for the second count, as opposed to in the left hand, you're going right for B for one beat and then F and G at the same time for the next beat over. So in the time again that it takes to play B to F, G, you're holding D for those two counts, all right? And then lastly, our last measure, kind of the same thing, kind of the same principle, okay, just a little bit different now. Now we have no half note in this last measure, in this third measure. We do, however, have the quarter rest, first beat of the bass clef lined up with the first beat of the treble clef, which is our 2 8th notes, again worth one beat because of two halves of beat, two half of beats equal one. So you have E D while we're silent in the quarter rest of the first beat of the bass clef. Then you have middle C lined up with low C, while you have the next middle C, because they're both quarter notes. Quarter notes meaning one beat of sound each, right? So quarter note with quarter note, one beat in the second, worth one beat in the second beat of the measure. Then middle C, the next middle C in the third beat of the measure, another quarter note lined up with the two quarter notes E and G that are to be played at the same time. So you're playing here in the last two beats of the measure, you're playing low C and middle C at the same time, and E, G with middle C at the same time. That's what's happening right there, okay? So let's translate that into our piano. So everybody's going to now, I'm going to bring the camera over so you can get a good bird's eye view of what we're playing over here, okay? But you must have good posture. Go to your piano, have good posture. Make sure your technique is good, where you have up and even wrists and firm fingers while they are bent, okay? Let's go right over to the piano right now. Okay. Here we go. Okay, there we are. So now we're going to transfer what we had on the board, okay? And again, my Academy members, you are going to have the worksheet, the worksheet for this, so that you can practice. And you have this video available to you, where the link will be provided on the worksheet as well through the PDF, and you can simply click on that link and go right back to this video, okay? But let's recall our middle C. That's how we find our footing, our location, where we are. Remember, middle C is our best friend, okay? And we're learning to play the right hand part. We're going to focus on the right hand part, okay? I'm thinking, given the time, we're just going to focus on the right hand part, and then try to put the right and the left together, okay? So I think you can even see my reflection through my iPad over here. So sometimes I'm still looking at you, but you're also getting a good view of the piano keyboard right here. So remember, once again, your posture should be a back straight, shoulders relaxed. And sometimes you see me doing the side profile over here. Okay, that's only because I'm looking at my computer screen, okay, as well as I have a separate camera, okay? So just making sure that I'm looking okay, and I'm looking at all angles, guys, okay? And you guys can see me. But in any event, let me actually move my camera just a little bit over. I moved it a little over to the left. Okay, now here's our middle C. There we go. Let's make sure we have a good technique. Again, your wrist should be up and even. It shouldn't be down this way. It shouldn't be too high, bent like this, but up and even. And your fingers are bent and firm while they are resting on the keys, from middle C on your thumb, okay? D is the next note in your index finger. Your E is in the next note right there. Every white key, basically, F and G, okay? That's what we're doing right now. Now, we start in the first measure, if you recall, okay? And if you're looking at this video again with your practice sheet and everything, okay, you'll recall that there is, or if you wrote it down, even great, even better. It starts on a G in the fifth finger, okay? We start with our fifth finger. We have G, we have 2 8 notes as in G, F, G, F. Now, notice again how I played. Notice how I played G and F over here, right? C, D, E, F, G, Okay, I played it with my pinky and my ring finger, my fifth and fourth finger, and I played it in that rhythm because they're 2 eighth notes at half a beat each. So you would go G, F. Everybody play that with me. Ready and go. G, F. Okay. Now after that, those are 2 eighth notes at half a beat each. We have to play the E in the third finger. That's our E in the third finger. So we're just going down. G, F, E, E. I should say that's the pitch. So you're going to hold that for 2 counts because it's written as a half note. So our half note is 2 counts there. So you're going to go G, F, E, 2, off. Okay? When I said off, I just simply released. Okay, not releasing completely, not taking my hand off, okay? We still want to stay there, but we want to go G, F, E, hold 2, off. Just like that. That would be the rhythm, okay? So I'm going to give you a tempo count, a 3 tempo count. I'm going to go 1, 2, and play, and you're going to go G, F, E, hold 2, off. Let's do that together. Here we go. On my tempo count. 1, 2, and play. G, F, E, 2, off. Okay? That's what we have there. That is the first measure of the right hand. The second measure of the right hand follows the same rhythm. 2 eighth notes, 1 half note. The 2 eighth notes are 1 beats, are 1 full beat, half a beat each, and your half note is 2 beats held. Okay? So after that, we're going to play our F, E, and then D, hold 2. You see that? So it follows as this with the ring finger playing on the D, or you should say your fourth finger on, fourth finger on F, not D, fourth finger on F, your third finger on E, and then to follow with your second finger on the D. So F, E, D, hold 2, off. Okay. By the way, just for argument's sake, I'm going to write the letter names of all the notes we're using in the right hand. So D, E, F, and G. Okay. So just so that we have it. Okay. All right. So far in the first measure, we did G, F, E, hold 2. Now we're going to go to F in our fourth finger and go F, E, D, hold 2, ending up in the second finger of your right hand. Fourth finger, third finger, second finger. F, E, D, hold 2, off. Let's play that together, everybody. Here we go. Make sure, again, your technique is good, okay? Structure of your hand. Here we go. On my count. 1, 2, F first, and F, E, D, hold 2, off. Let's do it again. 1, 2, ring finger, F, and go. F, E, D, hold 2, off. Okay? Now, let's put that together. Let's go back to the beginning, going G, F, E, hold 2, F, E, D, hold 2. Watch me play it first. Okay? Starting with my pinky on the G. That's the fifth finger from your middle C. Fifth note from your middle C. Okay? Going towards your right. Okay? We have me first. G, F, E, hold 2, F, E, D, hold 2, and off. Let me do that again one more time. Here I go. And G, F, E, hold 2, F, E, D, hold 2, off. Okay? Let's do that together. Here we go. Starting on G, fifth finger. Okay, that's an F, that's an E. It's just that I erased it with my fingers there. Okay, but let's play it. Here we go. On my count. 1, 2, and G first. Go. G, F, E, hold it 2. Now F, E, D, hold 2, and off. One more time, folks. One more time. Here we go from the beginning on G in the fifth finger. And 1, 2, let's play. And G, F, E, hold 2. Now F, E, D, hold 2, and off. Okay? That's what we have there. All right. I'm just rewriting this because, I just need to. Okay. I don't like the way I wrote that up. I'm such a perfectionist, I guess. Sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes. All right, there we go. Okay, so now after that, the last measure, we're dealing with the last measure now. The last measure, we had our 2/8 notes on E, D, half a beat each, okay? E, D, and then 2 quarter notes, which are 1 beat each, 1 full beat each on both C's. We're going to play C both times at 1 beat each. C, C, just like that. So notice the difference in rhythm. We had the 2/8 notes, which are half a beat each, which are smaller. E, D. So okay, you notice that, and then we had to play our 2 C's, but they're quarter notes because they're 1 beat each. So you're going to go C, C. Notice the difference in that pacing, in that rhythm. E, D, C, C. Okay, that's what we have. E, D, C, C. Okay, except we're going to use our fingering, appropriate fingering. So put all our fingers on like this, and we're going to play middle, index, thumb, thumb. Okay, using making sure that the fingers are doing the work, and we're maintaining our wrist up and even. Okay, here we go. Fingers bent, firm. Starting with the E, me first. It's going to go E, D, C, C. Just like that. Let's play it together, guys. You've seen it enough. Let's play it together. Let's be ready on my 3 count. Here we go. 1, 2, and E. Go. E, D, C, C. Now I did a little slip up there, okay? But managed to still play both my C's in the thumb at 1 beat each. Let's do that again. Here we go. Starting on E. 1, 2, let's play, and E, D, C, C, off. Okay? Just like that. And it follows that 3-beat meter rule. 1, 1, and 2, 3. Okay? 1 and 2, 3. Okay? Let's play the whole thing, that whole top line. Okay? Now we have to do the entire 3 measures. Okay? So let me write my letter names down again. There's my D. Here's my E. Okay, we got F and G right there. Let's play it together. We're going to start on G, this time on the pinky, starting from the first measure. I want you to watch me first. Okay, so the melody in the right hand goes as follows. It'll go G, F, E, hold 2, and F, E, D, hold 2. Now E, E, D, C, C again, and off. Just like that. Okay, let me show you again. Here we go from the G. I'll start it off, and on my count, watch carefully. 1, 2, let's play, and G, F, E, 2, and F, E, D, hold 2, and E, D, C, C, off. Okay, that's what we want. G, F, E, hold 2, F, E, D, hold 2, then add to E, E, D, C, C, off. Okay, I was just kind of showing you the keys that we're playing because sometimes you can't really see over my hand. Okay, but that is what we're playing. But we're going to exhibit good technique. Okay, good form and technique. Let's do this together, starting on the G with your 5th finger, your pinky, wrist up and even, fingers bent. Okay, and firm. Let's do it on my count, starting on G. Here we go. 1, 2. Let's play the G. G, F, E, hold 2. Now F, F, E, D, hold 2. Now E, E, D, C, C, and off. Okay, make sure you're not getting into this wrist action, but your fingers are doing the work. One more time, everybody. Here we go. Starting on G. One more time. Get that form and technique well in hand. Here we go. Well in your hand. Okay. No pun intended. Here we go. On my count with the G. 1 and 2. Let's play. And G, F, E, hold 2. Now F, F, E, D, hold 2. Now E, E, D, C, C, off. Okay. Now, the key to playing this particular song with our left hand, that's going to be next week. I'm going to show you how to actually put them together. What you should be doing, guys, is practicing. Now that we've gone over the right hand, okay, practice this in repetition 10 times a day, okay? If you need to rehearse your left hand, look at the previous video, last week's video on the left hand, okay, and get good on that 10 times a day. No more, no less, okay? Do it 10 times a day on the right hand, 10 times a day on the left hand. And then next week, we're going to be looking to play it like this. Okay, that's the first 3 measures of that little waltz song, which we will cover how to play both hands at the same time next time. Okay, all right, let me talk to you guys a bit. All right. Okay, so first of all, I want to say great job at hanging in there in the video, okay? And, you know, keep using the video to practice what we have up here on the board. Everybody give yourselves a nice round of applause, okay? And great job today. Make sure you are practicing, again, each hand by themselves, each hand part by themselves 10 times per day. And then we will definitely go over next time. We will go over how to play them both parts at the same time. That is our goal. But great job, everybody. And I want to thank you all for watching and for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe, the subscribe button on the bottom and the notifications bell to make you aware of up and coming videos, and like and share, watch, learn, okay, wow, okay, and also thank you very much for all my friends around the world who have been watching: Sri Lanka, Australia, China, Japan, where else? Philippines, India, and North and South America, and many other places that I have not mentioned. Thank you so much, okay, for your support of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy, where we learn how to play music. We learn a little bit about God through the hymns that we sing, and it's such a wonderful thing to get our minds right, to get us going and learning. And I thank you all for joining me, guys. And as always, my friends, I wish you happy practicing. Everybody, take care of yourselves, and and have a good rest of the day, I should say. I'm tongue-tied today. What can I say? Okay, but have a good rest of the day, folks. Okay, be well, be good. Take care.